Welcome back, beautiful people. We are going to be doing some Unhinged Bridezilla drama today, and we are going to jump right into it.
Just to jump into it. Jump away.
She asked 16 girls to be bridesmaids. In the year and a half between the engagement and wedding, all but 6 dropped out. 3 were her sisters. She wanted 16 separate shades of blue and 16 different styles of dresses for each bridesmaid. Then threw a fit when the store didn't have that many options. She demanded everyone pay for a week-long bachelorette party in Vegas, including her share. A week-long bachelorette party is wild. That's like a lot of vacation time to be asking people to take on your behalf. Plus whatever time they're gonna probably need to take off for your wedding. Like, come on, girl.
That's a long time.
Because they're not just paying for the trip, they're also like, well, no, I guess you get paid when you take vacation time. But not everybody has vacation time. That's not going to be realistic for everybody. And then got mad when some people opted out. I was a single mom, college student at the time. Exactly. Not everybody's going to be able to make that work. Her parents gave her a $20,000 budget. That must be nice. That must be really nice. And she ended up spending $100K and demanding they pay for it. They took out a loan they are still paying off. Bro, how is that even a thing? That is wild. That's wild. She wanted everyone to have the same shade of hair, so she asked the 2 blonde bridesmaids to dye their hair. They declined. Yeah, we've been over this in my other video. Don't ask people to change their physical features for your special day. That's like a huge overstep. She paid for nothing for the bridesmaids. Traditionally, the brides pay for something, the hair, makeup, or the dress, but demanded we purchase specific shoes, jewelry, dress, etc., plus hair and makeup. Yeah, no. This is like giant Bridezilla destroying the town center territory. That's audacious. The audacity of this. But if you think about it, her parents gave her such a big budget and she blew all of that money like it's nothing. She probably has no actual concept of the reality that is most people's situation with money and how most people have income and need to budget and have to be like frugal depending on what season they're in their life, or, you know, have other things.
But I'm rich in friends.
Yeah, that's crazy. And stay the entire weekend at the hotel she was getting married at. All told, cost for the wedding, not including a gift, was well over $2K per bridesmaid. This was mostly amongst college-age women in a poor middle-class area. She also had 3 separate engagement parties / bridal showers. Who is this? Who is this woman? Nobody is doing this. Or if they do, they're doing it in a circle of people that also operate at this, I don't even want to say level, like in this realm. There's a little bit of delulu happening here. A reality check might be in order. Final straw for me was when she demanded to see my toast a month prior so she could edit it. She ended up rewriting it totally. Okay. Well, that's not nice, because toasts are supposed to like come from the heart and just, you know, be authentic in the moment. And if she's rewriting it, then like she may as well be toasting herself. I skipped the wedding totally and ended our friendship. I think that's a very good call on your part. Like, this type of person just seems like a lot. Too much. Not just a lot. Too much. Freaked myself out. A piece of my hair touched my arm and I was like, is that a bug? I don't know what that is. I thought it was the cat, and then I was like, the cat can't reach my arm there. But yeah, anyway, sorry, I had a moment. They did end up getting married, and 6+ years later, he seems absolutely miserable.
My life, I hate my life, I hate my life.
Who could have seen that coming, I wonder? Who could have seen that coming? All of us. because wild behavior to the max degree. That's what this is. Anyways, let's see what some of these comments have to say about it. Man, that lady sounds horrible, but her idea for the shades of blue on the dresses sounds like it could be neat. Better if they're all the same dress than line them up so you have a gradient effect going on. I wonder if anyone has done that. I think that like, I've seen brides do that, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that's actually really cute. I think it's having 16 all different shades, all different like types of dresses. It's just like very high maintenance. It's a big ask. Yeah. Anyways, it's definitely a cool idea in theory, but 16 different shades and 16 different styles of dresses is way too much. It ended up just looking like a bunch of random people showed up to a wedding wearing totally different dresses. They didn't look like bridesmaids' dresses. Some of them photographed really dark, the navy looked black, so it just wasn't very cohesive. Ah, that sucks. That's no good.
Not good.
All the rest of the comments are just talking about the dresses, but turbo red flag for this Bridezilla. Oh, hitting the mic. All right, on to the next one. I was almost in a Bridezilla wedding. I had an ectopic pregnancy. I'm sorry to hear that. Baby attached to my tube, which then burst, and I almost bled to death. Holy. Thank God you're okay. I'm so sorry that happened. I can't even imagine. Like, yeah, I'm really glad you're okay. She got engaged shortly following my ectopic. When she asked me to be her bridesmaid, she told me that I would be required to wait to try to have another baby. Oh, all right. Yep. Speaking of babies. Hello. Alice hanging out. Hello. Giving us her little purrs. Yes, thank you for showing me your butt. You can keep that to yourself. Sorry, where was I? Got distracted by my cat. When she asked me to be her bridesmaid, she told me that I would be required to wait to try to have another baby until after her wedding in 1.5 years. What kind of entitled audacity is this?
Who do you think you are?
That's not okay. Not okay. Very insensitive and not okay. Not because there would be a small child at the wedding, not even because she didn't want me fat at her wedding, but because if I lost another child, it would take away from her engagement and wedding. Throw this person out of your life. Throw them away. Throw them away and never look back. This is not a good person.
She is evil.
I was so shocked, I just declined and have never spoken to her since. Yeah, good for you. Cut her right out of there. Update. My cousin is on Reddit. She wrote me a scathing email about how mean everyone was to her, and I needed to update this and tell everyone it was her second wedding, and she wanted it to be special this time around. Also, I needed to defend her. Instead, hi, Jessica. Keep sending this to Grandma. I really don't care. Oh, okay. Oh, we got a little online sparring going on. That's all right with me. Give us the drama. Man, I still can't get over this, though. This is like, yeah. I'm glad you just cut her right out of your life, because that's some darkness in this person. I hope they do see this, see my video and see the comments and just take a good look at themselves, because people don't cut you out of their lives for no reason. Let's see what the comments say. Bleep that, lady. I'm sorry you went through that. I'm honestly shocked there's people out there who would think it's okay to talk out loud like that. Yeah, like, I am equally as baffled. I was shocked too. She's my baby cousin, so I always assumed she was just a little immature, but after this I realized I was letting too much slide. Yeah, don't make excuses for this caliber of audacity. Absolutely not. It was hard to cut ties. The hard part was when my grandma asked me to put it behind me and just go to the wedding. Sigh, I'm not that good of a person. Honestly, having that boundary for yourself does not make you a bad person. She's the bad person in this scenario. And I don't know if your grandma knows the whole story, but if she does, she should be talking to your cousin, not to you. Wild. Nah, a little immature would be her making a snide comment that you looked fat or something in an ugly dress she picked out. She was downright evil with that comment. The fact that you didn't punch her and knock her out when she said that means you are a good person. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. 100%. Whew, man, I need to take a breath after this one. Anyways, all right, next one. This was my sister's wedding, so hold on tight. My sister had 10 bridesmaids. Most of them were her sorority sisters from college. They wanted to plan an elaborate weekend for the summer, while most of them were still in school without jobs. When I asked, hey, who will pay for this? My sister got pissed that I even asked. When I also reminded all the bridesmaids that our father, who had stage 4 cancer, wasn't doing so well, I'm really sorry. That sucks. And that maybe the bachelorette bridal shower should be close by, they all flipped, thinking I was being insensitive to the bride. I feel like the opposite is what you were doing, actually. I mean, if something happened, I think the bride would want to be close by so she could get there if need be. I was promptly asked not to be a bridesmaid to my own sister's wedding over these two things. Rude. I was fine with this as she was a bridezilla and I spent time with our dying father. He died 2 weeks after her wedding day that he couldn't attend, oh my heart, because he was in hospice care 1 day before her wedding. To me, she put herself before our ailing father and it still makes me mad. I can definitely understand your feelings. I wonder if maybe there's a little bit of escapism going on for her, not wanting to focus on your dad. Yeah, that's a really tough situation. I'm gonna see what the comments have to say. I'm sorry about your dad. I'm glad you got to be with him instead. That's totally narcissistic behavior. If my father was dying, I'd get married by his bedside. Yeah, like, why isn't she making an effort to include him in the wedding somehow? Was he able to video in at least? I can't imagine how he would have felt. My cousin did this when her mom was in the hospital dying. Otherwise, she would have never seen her only kid get married. I used to worry that it was taking away from my little cousin's wedding, but it's been around 20 years and she's still married and never said anything about missing out. Oh, you're talking about getting married by the bedside. Okay. Yeah. Or I mean, I feel like they could have like maybe gone to the hospital and just like said their vows, or taken some photos with him, or yeah, just had him included in some way, shape, or form in the ceremony. Even if he couldn't physically get there, there's a way to include him. They at least took pictures with him, ? I don't know, the whole day was messed up. Okay, so they did take some photos with him. I think it's a hard situation for everybody. Maybe she like wasn't coping, but I feel like in this type of situation, I know what I would do. I have never been in this situation, and it's hard for me to judge somebody because I don't know. Well, no, you should include your dad. I am going to judge that part. I mean, you're saying that they did take some photos together, so that is good. I am going to say one more thing about it, actually. I wonder what your dad's wishes were in all of this. And maybe he didn't want to be the reason that she didn't have the bachelorette that she otherwise would have wanted to have. And maybe her and him did have a conversation about it. Like, I think that he probably wanted her to like have the full experience. That's like the only way that I can rationalize not staying close and including him. And yeah, I think I'm just gonna leave it at that because I've never been in this situation. I can't speak to it because of the high sensitivity of it. Sending you a lot of care through the ether, and thanks for sharing that one. Next one. I had a silent bridezilla. She was my best friend of 15 years and didn't ask for much at all through the wedding planning, as there was only 2 months between engagement and the wedding day. That is a quick turnaround. No bachelorette party, no dress shopping, no gift giving, no meeting up in person to do anything. We live 2 hours drive away from each other. Didn't want my input, just wanted me to be there and go find my own dress and look pretty. Okay, whatever you want, you're my bestie, and I'm excited you're getting married. On the day, I wasn't allowed to help with hair and makeup, just had to focus on my own. Apparently, I couldn't be trusted to do it well enough as I have short hair. Okay, fine. It's your day, whatever. Crap went down afterwards when she got her sister, the maid of honor and also my close friend for 15 years, to call me up in a 2-hour phone call and criticize my every little move throughout the entire wedding and say that I should never have accepted to be a bridesmaid if I didn't want to participate. Whoa. And had gone through my Facebook page and noted down expenses I'd posted about. Example, look at my new bowling ball. I've joined a bowling league for fun. And said how I should have spent that money on the wedding instead.
How dare you!
The wedding was set 2 days after Christmas. Oh, that's already such a busy time for everybody. And her family didn't even celebrate that Christmas that year because of the wedding. She's the bridezilla that stole Christmas. And I was criticized for not spending more time with her, even though day after Christmas, I took a 3-hour train trip just to hang with her the night before her wedding. Apparently, I should have stayed the night to hang with the other 2 bridesmaids, but I opted to drive home with my boyfriend as I need to work. She said from the start she was going to pay for makeup to be done on the day, then 2 weeks before said I needed to drive 2 hours to go buy a specific brand for myself to wear that was really expensive, which I did, even though I was broke from Christmas shopping, but apparently I had some attitude about it. Then I was criticized for not giving a gift, despite being told being a bridesmaid was gift enough. It sounds like there's a lot of miscommunication going on. Stuff being told to your face, and then other stuff being said behind your back.
A little gossip.
I hate gossip.
I'm sensing a little pettiness. The bride herself just stopped talking to me, blocked me on Facebook, and after months of I just cut them both out of my life. I haven't seen either of them since the wedding day, which was now 5 years ago. Man, 15 years of friendship down the drain, just like that, eh? Wild. Never got to see the wedding photos. Sad that long-term friendships end over nothing. If she had expectations, say something. Don't expect me to guess, then judge me for failing your expectations and be too chicken to talk to me about it directly. Yeah, I'm an advocate for direct communication. It solves like 80% of interpersonal issues. It sounds like you did exactly what was asked of you, and there were things that was expected that wasn't communicated, and that's not fair. Nobody is a mind reader. People need to express themselves clearly if they want something. Let's see what the comments say. The first one. Do you think she'll end up divorced from lack of communication? Should we take bets? LMAO, no guidance. Then she essentially says, you did it wrong. You were there for her. F knows what set her off. Though sorry to hear your friend turned nasty. One thing that seems pretty prevalent in these stories is that they have a sudden long phone call of complaints, which sets the mood for the oncoming fun. Can only imagine your confusion from an out-of-the-blue evil phone call from someone you want the best for. I'm sorry it ended that way between you two. I just want to see your rad bowling ball, honestly. Yes, priorities. Priorities of this story. Show us your bowling ball. Yeah. Legit. Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy because it was probably so unexpected. And if you feel like you're showing up to the best of your ability and meeting what has been communicated to you requirement-wise or expectation-wise, and then to like find out all of this information after is just, I don't know, man. She sounds like a high conflict person, and it sounds like it might be a good thing that you've outgrown her. All right, on to the next one. My ex-best friend was a trip. This story is just one of the many, many reasons I no longer speak to her. She tried to make me and another bridesmaid walk down her outdoor, uneven, tulle-covered aisle without glasses. She told us the morning of the event, so we didn't have any time to get contacts or anything. She threw a near hysterics fit because she was convinced that we would ruin the aesthetic of her wedding. Come on. Why are people psychos? Like, what the actual F? I told her that she would have a single groomsman walking down that aisle if she made me walk without them. She started bawling, but her mom was able to get her calmed down enough for her to agree to let us wear our glasses so we could actually make it down the aisle in one piece. Her mom essentially said that she's more skinny and beautiful than either of us, and no one would be glancing at her bridesmaids anyways because we aren't important. Side note, being skinny doesn't mean you're more beautiful. Just saying. We're not body shaming here. Everybody is beautiful in their own way. Mom sounds like a character that nobody wants in their story.
Dr. Evil.
And it sounds like her daughter is another character that nobody wants in their story. Yeah, good for you for cutting that right out of your life. The comments say, gee, I wonder where she gets it. When she eventually messages you to sell you unique, tell her I said, go F her hat. I don't think I've ever heard that expression before, but hey. May her lashes be chunky and her foundation be crusty and yellow forevermore. That's a spell. That's a good one. We're gonna cast that on people we don't like. Whoa, you can see where she gets the self-centered attitude from. Yeah. Mom, you're not doing a good job. Just saying. All right. Next one. It was a best friend of mine who was very frugal, so I figured she was going to have a reasonable wedding and bachelorette party. I had shared my monetary concerns with her too, that I worked and went to school and couldn't take off much time. She didn't have that many friends, so it was only me and one other girl as bridesmaids. She asked us to hand make all her decorations for the wedding. I put in 15 hours a week hand making decorations. Girl, you are a solid friend. That's some solid friending right there. All outside of working and going to school full time. Then she planned a week-long bachelorette party out of town, also asking us to foot the bill. Not to mention our dresses, which I wanted to find something affordable, but she picked designer matching dresses that we had to pay for. Never worn it again. Been trying to sell it online. I spent nearly $1,000 on the whole ordeal, not to mention I did her hair and makeup for free for the wedding. I just felt largely taken advantage of and unappreciated. We are no longer friends because we ended up working together after the wedding and she tried to screw me over at work. It all makes me very reluctant to agree to be in someone's wedding again. Even someone I thought would be considerate of everyone else's budget and time. Yeah, it sounds like she used you for a lot of free labor and didn't really care about your monetary concerns. I also think that if you're paying for your own dress, she should have picked something reasonably priced. Yeah, what do the comments say? So she pretty much treated you like a GoFundMe. That's terrible. I think this Bridezilla got tunnel vision and you expressed your position and it just sounds like she didn't take that into consideration when she made any of her decisions. A week-long bachelorette party? Like, is that a thing? For me, that just seems very excessive. That's a lot. That's a lot to ask of people. I'm not gonna lie, she doesn't sound very frugal. I know, like, that's, like, the first thing you said about her, but A week-long bachelorette and expensive dresses. I think her version of frugal is just getting the people around her to do as much as they can for her for free, which isn't respectful of your time or resources. That's not being frugal. I think that's being, what's the word when you just use people? Manipulative? No. I don't know. There's a word out there that I'm looking for that isn't coming to my brain right now, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Not good friending. Not good friending. I don't blame you for disconnecting after that. All right, last one. Let's do it. It's a long story, so get settled. We are settled, and we are here for the long stories. Let's do it. It's also extremely petty and childlike behavior, so be warned. I've been mostly single the whole time she's known me. I'm generally happier that way. I've had brief relationships over the last few years, but nothing serious. I've always got the impression she saw me as a bit of a sad case. That's not nice. Which honestly isn't true. I've had opportunities, but I'm busy, and if I'm honest, pretty fussy. It's alright to be choosy. You gotta have high standards.
She's too good for you.
I'm happy to wait for someone worth giving up being single for, but I think she likes to see me as the failure friend. Is that an archetype? Anyways, to the extent she actively tries to sabotage stuff, for example, putting insane pressure on me to keep a mega long distance relationship going, even though I knew it would never work. Anyway, her being weird about my love life is a bit of a theme. I mean, why do people think that they can micromanage other people? We're all our own individuals. Let's just be adults and stop trying to control each other, all right? About 2 years ago, she introduced me to her now brother-in-law. We hit it off really well, and I can, hand on heart, say he is to this day the only person that I have ever felt that immediate attraction to. Ah, she tried to stop us hanging out even as friends. Wait, what? I thought she interesting. And told me about 6 months before the wedding that she didn't like us being close and she forbade it. Who does this chick think she is? She forbade it? In what world does she think that she has that much control over your life? Wild. Some wild behavior. Anyways, he and I stopped hanging out much shortly after because of other stuff going on, but never fell out. On the night of the wedding, she went out of her way to set him up with another mutual friend and made sure I knew about it. Is she like... Yeah, she just wants to see you suffer, dude. She's not a good friend.
You're a horrible person.
She's doing friending very poorly. It was a definite FU, as she had said she didn't want him dating any of her friends. Turns out it was fine as long as it wasn't me. Rude. Seeing each other again at the wedding got me and him talking again and hanging out. One night out, I stayed at his house to save getting a taxi to the next town over where I live. Nothing happened, but we were definitely heading into flirty territory generally. She called me up the next morning to say she was coming to mine for a coffee. I told her I was out and she asked where. I wasn't gonna lie and act like there was anything to hide, so she invited herself to his for coffee instead. Girl, what are you doing? She then sat there and told him how desperate she was for him and the other friend to start dating, as what could be better than my friend and brother-in-law getting together? We could go on double holidays and everything. Direct quotes. As you can imagine, that was a complete slap in the face. All right, stop. I'm sorry. My phone. I thought I had it on silent, but that's the third time it's gone off, and I do apologize. As you can imagine, that was a complete slap in the face. She looked right at me after she said it too. Smug as you like. This chick. Anyways, to cut a long story short, me and him eventually started seeing each other. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Awesome. She went absolutely mental. Yeah, because you're not letting her control your narrative. Like, what does she think? Who does she think she is? Called me every name under the sun, said I was disloyal and that I shouldn't have to understand her reasons and should just do what she says because that's what friends do. That is not what friends do. Friends should challenge each other. I swear I turned that off. I turned the volume down. I don't know what's going on. Sorry. I'll throw it to where you can't hear it. Okay, there we go. Friends should challenge each other and have direct communication, not try to control each other's lives. If something is genuinely bothering them, they should have an adult conversation about it, regulated and direct with clear communication. This is some high school crap right here. Some immature high school behavior. Unfortunately, he would never see her worst behavior and thought it wasn't as bad as I believed, and that she would get over it. She never did. Him and I didn't last long, and we no longer talk. Thankfully, to be honest, as I don't ever have to see her again and can't imagine how horrendous of a sister-in-law she would be. Man, I mean, like, I'm happy for you that she's out of your life, but I'm also just like, it sucks that she kind of created that friction in a potential relationship right off the bat and could potentially have contributed to you guys not being together. That's crappy behavior. Let's all be adults when we're adults, you know? Let's not try to control each other. The hypocrisy too of her being like,
oh, I would love for you to be with one of my friends, la la la, but
then telling you that it's disloyal to be with him. Girl, come on. Come on. Let's see what the replies say. First one, what an entitled brat. 100% agree. She sounds like a psychopath with her neurotic need for control over someone to the degree that she wants to be able to hurt them in front of their face by manipulating the guy to get with another friend out of hope that she gets to see some tears. Yeah, that's like top tier toxic. This individual is top tier toxic. I'm glad you got away from them. Absolutely unhinged. All right, well, thanks for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed this unhinged behavior that exists in the world. I can't even get over some of it, but hey, we got to just be the bigger person in these situations and move along. Cut the high conflict people out of your life and protect your peace. I hope everybody has a great rest of the day, night, afternoon, whatever you're up to. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to keep track of the channel, and I'll see you next time. Mwah!